Do you see now why I'd rather be here than covering mayoral candidates? 17 years ago, a young Chicagoan helped her husband overcome his addiction to alcohol. Since both of them were stockbrokers, they could afford pricey rehab, but they quickly realized that only their personal wealth separated them from the addicts who ended up on the streets or in jail. We learned firsthand that there were really no protocols for people who lacked resources, she says. So in 1994, Neli Vazquez-Rowland and her husband Brian bought and renovated an abandoned apartment complex in Logan Square. It was a 13-unit building, and it became the first outpost of a safe haven, a network of shelters that addresses the causes of chronic homelessness and teaches residents how to live without drugs and alcohol and re-enter society. After funding the operation with her own paycheck for 5 years, Vazquez-Rowland tracked down state funding and began to run a safe haven full-time. Under her guidance, more than 32,000 people have been led through a step-by-step program that includes treatment, education, healthcare, job training, and job placement. A safe haven now has 16 facilities. There will be 20 by the end of the year, with 1,200 beds for residents and 500 plus apartments that it rents for its organization alumni. With an annual budget of $16 million, a safe haven has become the largest and most successful shelter in the United States. About 70% of the people complete the program and remain sober, an achievement recognized by the federal government with 2 recent grants totaling $800,000. We run this as a business, but we look at it from a different perspective, says Vazquez-Rowland, who now spends a few days a month in Washington, D.C., meeting with federal agencies and pushing for her model to become the national norm. We have what we call a double bottom line, she says. It's about saving money, but it's also about saving lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Neli Vazquez-Rowland.
Speech. I was afraid I was going to go blank up here. It's amazing. The previous honorees that came up here and spoke, I'm so inspired by you all. Thank you for this incredible honor of being named Chicagoan of the Year. 50 years ago today, President John F. Kennedy was inaugurated. He challenged our nation by saying, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I think today's honorees represent that challenge. In the spirit of this challenge, I accept this honor, not just as an individual for a safe haven, but for the vision and the promise that our leaders and our country have inspired us to dream about. I'm honored and humbled for so many reasons. On behalf of my husband, Brian Rowland, my partner and my co-founder, my sons, Devin and Dylan. Devin who's here today. When we were at a crossroads in our life, they truly gave us the moral compass to pursue doing the right thing. On behalf of my entire team here in Chicago, here at A Safe Haven, so many of you are here, and our team in Washington, D.C., who's been really working hard. Congressman Patrick Kennedy was supposed to join us today. He's been a real big supporter in Washington, and unfortunately, I got trumped by the president because of the anniversary. And so many of you who are just ardent supporters in the field, out there doing the work every day and finding the time to really support us. Alderman Moore is here. He's one of the first aldermen in the city of Chicago that really stood up and took us into his community and has been just an ardent supporter. When the chips are down, he's been there for us, and we really, really appreciate that, just like so many of you that are here today. For the people that are out there that have had their dreams derailed by issues like homelessness, mental illness, and addiction, for us at A Safe Haven, the issue of addressing poverty is just every bit as important as addressing the war that we had on communism, the war that we have today on terrorism, and even saving the planet. We think our people are our most precious resource. For the past 17 years, my husband and I and our entire team have had the privilege of playing a key role in the restoration process for over 32,000 people. Every year, for thousands of people, we connect the dots for them, whether it's shelter, treatment, job training, education, healthcare, affordable housing, to have a safe place for them to ultimately end up that's safe, where they can be reunited with their families, that's affordable in a sustainable manner. It's been a privilege. When they come to A Safe Haven, they see at A Safe Haven that change is possible. We're a very small team at A Safe Haven. We have 130 employees, and 70 of them are actually graduates of our program. So they see success, eating, sleeping, breathing, inspiring them every day. We accept this award with courage, vision, and hope. Courage that we've seen others who, with the right support system, have thrown their shame aside of their past as they reclaim their future and work very hard towards making amends with themselves, with their families, and their communities. Janice is someone that came through our program recently, and she escaped 8 years of domestic violence, showed up at our doorstep, scared. She hadn't shared with her family what was going on. She walked to our receptionist and started to tell her what was going on and how she needed a place to stay. The receptionist stopped her mid-sentence and said, "Hold on," walked around the desk and said, "You need a hug." Those are the type of people that work at A Safe Haven. They understand the needs. And Janice understood she had found an A Safe Haven. Today, she's a wonderful example of someone that's showing leadership. We just started a call center at A Safe Haven. She started it for us. She's working it. She's doing an amazing job. We're really proud of her. There's lots of Janices that come through A Safe Haven. Vision of people not only reclaiming their future, but as they love themselves and care for one another, neighborhood by neighborhood will continue to be revitalized with the life and community that exists at A Safe Haven and around A Safe Haven. I told Alderman Moore I was going to quote him. He has seen firsthand how A Safe Haven coming into his community has impacted the people that live there in terms of having a resource where they can go and get help, and also a place that's revitalized the community. We took the largest crack houses, abandoned buildings in the community, turned them into the crown jewel of the neighborhood. He has seen a flurry of economic activity where property values have increased, crime has gone down, and it's a wonderful place to live today. Thank you, Alderman Moore, for your support. And hope that the aspiring leaders of this great city and our state and our nation get it. As our president has quoted from the scriptures, "If we have done to the least among us, you have done unto me." We are honored on behalf of our veterans, to whom our country owes a special debt. A Safe Haven has had thousands of veterans come through our programs, many of whom have been homeless since Vietnam. When they come through our doors at A Safe Haven, they find a place where they can finally get the protocols, the processes, the services that they need to really get back on their feet and give back and be wonderful model citizens and productive. We owe it to them to give them a process to reintegrate them back into society. It will take this kind of continued emerging public and private partnerships that A Safe Haven provides if we are to meet Secretary Shinseki's challenge of ending homelessness for vets in the next 5 years. Did you know 30% of the homeless in Illinois wear a uniform? In closing, we hope that the model of A Safe Haven represents, and the recognition from this great city here in America has done, will challenge more people, more businesses, more policymakers, and more cities to get involved and support what the small group of us at A Safe Haven are doing to transform lives. We thank you, Chicago Magazine, Chicago, American Airlines, for recognizing us at A Safe Haven as a Chicagoan of the Year. Since the article was written, we've already seen more people come to us for help and more people join us in helping us make a difference. I have met more people that know my fellow honorees, and I've heard some of your backstories. It isn't easy to do it alone. We need your support. Thank you, everyone, for allowing A Safe Haven to be an honoree today.